Being a new runner is actually a huge advantage for you, and I'm going to tell you why it's an advantage for new runners and what you can do if you are an experienced runner to get as much benefit as you can that new runners get. My name's Joe Sheriak. I manage a local running store. I've been running for a long time. I was a sprinter, and now I run distance, mainly for fun and to get better and see how far I can push my own limits. I like doing these Saturday live Q&As because I can go through, address a topic, and then get into your questions and see how I can help you best. So what is the big advantage that new runners have that experienced runners don't get? And it's the fact that you get so much progress so early on in your journey. And I think that's so encouraging. So I almost prefer it being this way because when you're new, there are so many hard things that you have to overcome. You have to figure out what shoes work well for you. What is the race that you want to do? What does training look like? There are so many things wrapped in, like nutrition and just what you want to wear. Like all of those things are a mental tax. A mental tax that more experienced runners don't usually have to deal with. So the encouraging thing with that is you get the biggest progress in your running when you're new to it. When you have all these like newbie gains, and that's helpful because you have to figure all of these things out, but at least you're consistently seeing progress, so long as you're staying healthy, of course. And that's what we all strive for. We all strive towards progress, which you get in this example here. So actually not example, in real life, newer runners tend to get that benefit more early on. Now, one thing that you do have to be mindful of as a new runner is making your progress without trying to go too hard or do too much too early on. It's a trap that's easy to get sucked into. But you really need to slow down and take a step back. So we get really fit aerobically, like our ability to produce energy increases really fast. It takes longer for our tendons and muscles and all of that stuff. What a great quarter zip. Hey Garrett, welcome in. Glad to have you in. I agree. I love the quarter zip. This is my Ontos quarter zip. Ontos is my personal brand. So while I have no coaching to sell you, I do have my own running brand that I want to really have embody, like going about your running and doing your running the way you want to do it, and just as a general encouragement to keep on whatever you're doing. But as I was saying with new runners, you have muscles and tendons that take time to adapt to the stress you're putting on them. So that's the only kind of caveat, is you get much more fit much more quickly than somebody who is a experienced runner, but then you have to contend with making sure all the parts of your system are healthy as you go along. So you don't want to get anything that's overly sore or overly painful. Like pain is something we want to avoid. And actually I had a question on a video that I have down below for a Q&A. For more experienced runners, what do they need to be doing to get some of the gains that you see early on in your running? And I think it comes down to doing a couple of things. I think novelty is really important. And I think getting out of your own way and sometimes getting out of your head and doing an off distance can be really good. So often distances are awesome. If you're somebody who wants to crush marathon after marathon after marathon, then awesome. That's really cool. But let's try and be smart about it. And if you're not having a good time, maybe we try something shorter. Yeah, it seems like it's going in and out, Garrett. I'm hopeful that this is working better. It looks like it may be reconnected. So going from, if you're a marathoner, like Floberg just did a video on this. He did his Winter of Speed where he's trying to get a fast mile and a fast 5K while keeping the marathon the goal, but this adds novelty and it adds a new stimulus to the body. The benefit of that being he's getting a different stimulus, and he's making progress again, right? So the first time he ran the mile on the treadmill inside, it was whatever time it was, and at the end, it's a good bit faster. The benefit being he sees progress in an area while he's still moving towards this big marathon goal. It's just marathons are a lot of stress on the body, and it can be really daunting to just hit it again and again and again. And there are a lot of folks that can do it. Um, it's just hard to stay really up all the time. So, going from that to adding novelty, what can you do there? You can maybe add some lifting in. I do think that it's good for humans in general just to be able to lift and move weight and be strong people. I think that's generally a good thing. And I don't know that distance runners always have that quality or try and maintain it as much. So while I don't think everybody needs to be a bodybuilder or a hybrid athlete, I think being able to do movements that increase your power output will, one, help make you a stronger individual in general, and two, it'll help you with your speed. The faster you get, the easier it is going to be for you to run quickly. That's one thing that's been really helpful for me with all of my sprinting background. I have a very high power output. I maintain that by lifting once, maybe twice a week, depending on the time of year. Just a little bit like that can add some variance in what you're doing, and it can increase your potential in the race distance that you want to do. And even something like trail running and doing an off distance that's above what you normally do. So I'm doing a 50K ultra marathon this summer because I want to really build my aerobic base without having to worry about time. Like, I have no time goal for this 15K or 50K run, but I'm going to come out of it really, really fit, which is awesome. I'm going to have a very nice base going into my summer, or into my fall racing rather. So I'm going to have some speed from a faster race I'm doing. I'm going to get more aerobic base from the distance I'm running, and then I'm going to be stronger and have more variance and hopefully a little bit more injury prevention from doing things on soft surfaces, going uphill, going downhill. Just road running's a lot on the body. And I think when we can add variance, it helps mentally and it helps physically. So that's how I think experienced runners are able to get a lot of benefit out of what they are doing without like having to completely reset everything they're doing. So new runners, keep enjoying those big PRs. Experienced runners, have fun with the process, add variance, add novelty. Sometimes you got to get out of your head and do something maybe you didn't plan on doing. But a way I'm implementing it myself is I think I'm going to start doing one hard mile every month. So it'll let me see what it's like to run really hard. Emptying the tank once a month for a hard mile won't be hard. It's not going to dramatically affect my workout. So I can do my normal miles to warm up. I can do one hard mile, and then I can do my easy miles after to cool down. And I think it'll be a great way to kind of give me a mental gut check, give me some speed in my legs that I haven't really been using as I've been increasing my mileage, and a lot of really cool stuff like that. So that's just one way I'm implementing it for myself. Now, at this point, I will open it up to Q&As. Hopefully this stream isn't like terribly buffering. It looks like I'm still kind of glitchy. So if I am, I apologize. I don't really have a clue why, because it says excellent connection. But at any rate, let me know if you have any questions. Garrett, I know you texted me and I didn't get to read everything. You did a long run and said you were still kind of sore afterwards. I would love to hear more about what's going on there for you. And I will just answer that live. As for some Q&As, well, it's gotten a ton better on your end. Peachy, I'm happy to hear that, Garrett. While I give you a second to type out what's going on, give us a little bit of background. Tell us about your week so far. No buffering since the last message. Sick. And let me know what's going on with your calf and if you're still feeling it, any other facts that may be interesting to share with the group, and I will go ahead and answer you live there. While I do that, there's actually lateral right knee was a bit sore and achy during the run and the rest of the day. Better the next day. Okay. That is actually super similar to the question I had, and this wasn't exactly a one-to-one, but like I did have this question somewhere else, and it applies really appropriately to you. How do I know if a pain is good, as in good sore, or bad, as in injury bad? And I'm dealing with a little bit of this myself too, so I can use two different examples. For you, with your hip being achy during and after a little bit, that's not like a tremendous concern if it's better the next day. Sometimes you just have something that's a little achy, and I'm not overly concerned about that. So long as it doesn't affect your next run, so long as it's not something you're feeling a ton of like pain with during. Like if you're getting to a 5 or a 6 on the pain scale, like you probably want to shut that down. Even if it is just something small, I would rather it be a nothing burger and just have a little less training that day than it be something where it's like, oh, this hurts a bunch, I grind through, and then I'm injured for real for a couple of weeks and I can't train. That is not ideal. So with what you're saying, I think that would be more of just like some achy, sore, okay, you're adapting to your running feel. Whereas the other side with an injury would be like, it hurts during your run, you go to your next run later on in the week, and your hip tightens up really bad, and it doesn't loosen up as you run. So that's kind of a rule of thumb for me. Like if I'm a mile into my run and I don't feel better, like at first, you know, your body's tight, you're trying to warm up and everything, even if you do like stretch and do a good warm up. Getting into the first mile, sure, things might feel weird and need to settle in. If you're beyond a mile and things are still not feeling good or still not feeling right, that is when I'm probably thinking about like, do I need to shut this down? For my knee, it started bugging me again. And this has been an ongoing thing. It dropped my mileage all the way down to like 10 to 15 miles for about a month, 10 to 15 miles per week for about a month at the start of the year. And I started feeling it just a day or two ago. I've done 2 runs, one where I felt it just a little bit during the run, felt it the next day in the morning, and it was like a little bit annoying. Got into my run the following day, and first 3 miles didn't really feel anything. The last 2 miles, it really started bugging me to the point where I didn't want to keep running, but I was far enough away from my car, I kind of had to. So I'm being really cognizant of it. If I feel that again, I'm adjusting where I'm running and what I'm doing so that I can be done almost at any time I need to. Even though I've got 5 miles, I'm going to stay within about a half-mile radius of my car. If it feels weird at any point, I have no reason to push what would be today an easy day when I could just shut stuff down, see how I feel tomorrow, which would be actually a workout for Ashley, my wife. Have her doing a workout, and I'm going to pace her for that workout. So I'll be moving a little bit easy, a little bit fast, and it should be really good for me to like get a feel for, is my body feeling right or not so much? So that's kind of how I separate out sore versus injury, or like beyond just pain, is do I feel okay the next day? And do I warm up into whatever the thing is? If my quad is a little sore and I warm up into the run and it kind of just goes away, then not really all that worried about it. If it's something you continue feeling or you feel the next day, that's when I consider changing what I'm doing. Okay, so it was better the next day, which is great, Garrett. My week was that you did 2.9 miles in 2 sessions, a mile and a half run, and then a separate day, another 1.4 power walk. Heck yeah, I love that. A power walk is always big in my eyes. And a 4 mile run, all at once, 3.4 miles of running with four, two, with 4 breaks of 2.1 mile walks and then 2.15 miles. Awesome. So you're getting pretty much all the mileage you need with that 2.9 miles to do this week. Next week's run walk of 4.9 miles need to start tomorrow. Would I recommend going for it today or power walk to ensure recovery for tomorrow? Easy answer for me. Power walk today, ensure recovery for tomorrow. If you want to, you can add a couple of easy, like 1-2 minute trots in there. Way easy, but if you want to do something beyond the walking today, you can add a couple of those easy jogs. I just wouldn't, I wouldn't overdo any of the jogging if you were to do it today. 2.1 miles and 2.15 miles. To clarify. Thank you. That actually is really helpful. Yeah. I was about to say, that's a lot of mileage. Yeah, dude, I think for like today, make it easy to set tomorrow up. And that's pretty much always going to be my stance in running. Like there are times when you need to do more and you have to push through, but for you with what your goals are of getting your first half marathon completed, I want to just feel good going into the next day. What we need to do today to feel good going into the next is always going to take precedence. I think that's the big thing there. Character limit got you. Super fair. Yeah, definitely do your power walk today. That still counts towards your mileage, and then tomorrow you want to then get your faster paced stuff in. Okay, so how does another one, I kind of alluded to this earlier, but another question I got on one of my older videos is how does lifting help me if I'm already a relatively efficient runner? And that's where I want to say it is a new stimulus for the body if you're not doing it. So it's just in general a new thing your body is adapting to and getting better because of. You get structural adaptation and you increase power output, like I said, and then general life. So if you're already efficient, that's awesome. I bet we can be more efficient. There are so many levels of being efficient with your running that I think getting stronger probably isn't going to be a hindrance. And if you're running a lot, I am so certain you're not going to add muscle mass, but you could get better at sending signals from your brain to your muscles to recruit more muscle fibers, which would then help with your power output. So at the end of a race, as your body starts breaking down, you want to be able to recruit different types of muscle fibers. So we like recruiting our easiest muscle fibers to recruit. We don't like recruiting the hard muscle fibers. We still want to be able to recruit them if we need to, and lifting is going to be able to help with that. Structural adaptation comes in a couple of different ways. Lifting helps you brace really tight through your core, through your abdomen, like intra-abdominal pressure is when you push everything out and make a really strong base. That is going to, again, make you more efficient. You get muscular adaptation, so your muscles become more resilient, which helps at the end of races when your body's really fatigued. Your muscles being strong will help with that. Hey, welcome in, Carl. I'm glad you're able to stop by. And the third part of why I like lifting is it's going to help bone density a lot. So when we add external forces, we have, so there are some interesting things in bone cells called osteoblasts and osteoclasts. So osteoclast breaks down bone, osteoblast throws the stuff that turns into bone. And that is going to be, you're going to throw down way more osteoblast. Well, they're cells, actually, is what they are. But the osteoblasts put down the stuff that turns into bone. So we get more of those osteoblasts doing their thing when we have external loads placed on us. So that helps with bone density overall. That's why you hear people wanting to avoid osteoporosis need to lift. So they get the benefit of stronger bone density due to the lifting. So that's why lifting can help and why you should do it outside of even just being efficient. As you age, as we all are, having stronger bones and more muscle density and stronger power output will help with all facets of life, especially running. Carl, how's your running? You've got just a little bit before your marathon. Tell me about your training and what you're up to, how things are going on that front. While I give you a second to type, what do you do when motivation feels like it's fading? Was one of the last questions I wanted to hit on here. What do you do when motivation is fading? I think there are two lenses you can use, one that I like better than the other. Of the two, I think novelty is really important for humans in general. So you can either introduce novelty or you can try and grind. I think there are merits to trying really hard and just putting your head down and working and working and working and seeing progress. I think that's very encouraging when you see the result after grinding for a long time. However, I don't know that that's always entirely sustainable. There's clearly some small percent of outliers who can do that, but I think when you can introduce something new, so whether it is a new running distance or if it is a new style of working out. So if you are sick of running and you still have goals that you want to get after, if you go and do CrossFit for a while, or if you do a big block of lifting where you're just doing some maintenance running just a couple of miles a week, or I don't know, whatever you want it to be, miles per week, and you put a big focus on getting stronger, if you want a stronger squat or bench, or if you want to be able to do some number of pull-ups. Like I was listening to David Goggins. There was a period of time where he couldn't really do a lot of running, so he got really dang good at doing pull-ups. And that's probably just because that was an area of interest for him. That is novelty. So it's still hard, it is still pushing yourself, and you are still growing, you're still learning, and you can probably take learnings from this and adapt it to your running, but it is new. You see the progress like all of this has been going at. You see progress like a new runner would. So when motivation feels like it's fading, find something to add a little bit of spark, a little bit of interest that you will want to look at in the future. Always hated, Garrett says, I always hated how the name osteoblast and osteoclast, blast always made me think it feel like it should be blowing things up, not building. Yeah, I totally get that. But you know, I always thought of the osteoblasts as like a Blastoise, the Pokemon, and I imagined the things that would shoot water. I imagined those as like laying down the foundation of what makes the bones stronger. That's how I always kind of remembered that. And then osteoclast, I was like, oh, if you had too many of those, you would end up in a cast. I don't know. I thought that was a fun way of remembering it. Hi, Adam. How are you? How was your 5 a.m. lift? Also, Garrett, if you ever happen to wake up really early, Adam with 5 a.m. Squat Club does a really early lift that is CrossFit focused. Adam owns a CrossFit gym and does a free like YouTube morning session. So if you ever get up really early, you could totally join Adam's lifting to go along with your running. I just did B for building. That's also really fair. I'm now an early bird with the pup. Well, there you go. Hop on Adam's early morning lift. Fun sandbag workout this morning. Nice. You may need to tune in. Heck yeah. Randolph, how are you? Good morning. Love your videos, Joe. So helpful for my training for my first marathon in September. Let's stinking go. That's so exciting. Always really cool when I feel like I can have a small impact. Like, I know I'm just a guy talking at my phone that's set up looking at me in a room with some shoes. But if I can make a small impact or have a little bit of encouragement for you, man, that is all I'm trying to do, is keep you going in whatever small way I can. If you have any questions on your training, like, again, I'm literally just a guy. I can make a video on any topic really you want me to. So if there's any part of your training that you're not stoked with, or you are really stoked with, and you want to see like what you could be doing better with it, or if, I don't know, there are so many different facets that could go in. If you do have any running related things, man, I am so all ears for hearing what you got, how training's going, and if I can help in any way at all. Adam, you just missed a huge segment on why it's important for runners to lift weights. I had a question on another video. How does lifting help me if I'm already efficient? And it is big for runners because it helps with dealing with fatigue. So when we get tired, our muscles, there's actually a really cool, I wish I had it up. It is, oh, I have his face in my brain right now. Why am I forgetting his name? Oh, this is so bad. Anyhow, one of the guys I follow really closely went through and dissected like how much our VO2 max decreases at the end of a marathon because of fatigue, and how lifting can help tremendously with fighting off that fatigue because our muscles are more resilient from lifting. You get good structural adaptations, you get better at bracing, which is going to help with all the micro impacts. You increase power output, which can help with speed, so many different things. And this is totally killing me. Oh my gosh. I watched so many of his videos. Wild. I'm looking it up real quick. Nike coach that told on Salazar. Steve Magnus. Oh my goodness. One of the best running coaches. If you are really interested in the physiology of running, Steve Magnus is a fantastic watch. His videos are not fluffy. He's not doing a lot of big cuts or edits or anything like that, but he's who I pull a lot of my knowledge from in the endurance space. So I have a big base of knowledge from studying exercise science in school, and I've been watching him for years in just the application of how you can be so good. Carl, I'm glad the weightlifting has been big for you. Randolph, I'm using Runna app to track my increasing mileage. Do you have any experience with Runna or similar programs? I don't use Runna. I like that it is very accessible. So I like that you have the opportunity to just have your program in, and it does make adjustments based on your training. The one big thing, so I have read a lot about it, is from what I've heard is it makes jumps really quickly for your volume. So long as you are staying healthy and you are enjoying the workouts it's doing, totally cool with it. I've got two folks that come into the running store quite often that use Runna and they've had success with it. So anything that gets people out of the door, general big thumbs up. I would say be mindful. It's just AI. So it's not somebody writing your programming. So if something feels off, just know that in your head. Like, I'm allowed to adjust this. It doesn't have to be a really structured, really strict plan. In fact, I would encourage you to use some critical thinking. Like, does this make sense for me? Is this a really big jump in intensity? Am I going way faster than normal in this workout? And then know that every day you're getting out the door and just getting your base mileage in, you're making progress towards your marathon goal. So that's my early take. I think it's great that it is something to add progress, to track progress, um, to keep you moving, but be mindful, be cognizant, still be a human on your side of the screen. So not bad by any means, just be thoughtful about it. I definitely think my lifting background has made it much easier to get into running this time compared to times in the past before lifting, Garrett. Yeah, dude. I think that's a huge reason why I've been able to make as much progress as I have in the amount of time I have. So going from zero real distance mileage, so just, the one off, you know, mile and a half really fast running workout to, 15-mile long runs plus. Doing that and getting to a marathon in a year, I was actually 9 months. I was really stoked with it. And I think a large part of it was the durability from everything I did prior. Yeah, Randolph, so that's what I'm saying is if you're being thoughtful about it, I don't think it's a bad option, especially when guessing or no plan at all is the alternative. All I'm saying is you got to be thoughtful and mindful about it. Um, Lifting over a large period of time, though, does build that muscular strength that you can then apply in a different way in the muscular endurance that you need for running. So I think they're very cohesive, very helpful, back and forth with each other. Randolph, what's your experience been so far? I imagine if you're still using it, it's been good. Not having alternatives might make it easier too. Like, I don't know, this is what we've got. I'm curious if you have any strong feelings about it, because I'm always trying to get more data from me so I can speak more intelligently to people in the store and see different perspectives and all of that good stuff. So I'd love to hear your experience to this point and how long you've been using it and if you've run into any issues at all. Also, I'm really curious. I'm going to try something real quick. There is a insert ad button that I've not tried to use at all yet. But this is all new to me and seeing how YouTube can do this. So I'm going to try this real quick. I'll be back momentarily. I don't know that that did anything. Seems like maybe not. I don't know. Not worried about it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that worried. I was just kind of curious because I've not pressed the button yet. So those were the big Q&A questions I wanted to hit on. The how do you know if a pain is good or if it's an injury? How lifting can help you if you feel like you're already efficient, and then what you do if you feel like motivation is fading. Are we all getting the Project Hail Mary ad, or is it just me? Movie looks good. Oh, it did play. How interesting. Cool. I don't know. I use YouTube Premium. I don't see ads. Oh, got it. So you almost want to keep going in some auxiliary capacity as ads roll. I didn't know that. Not that the 4 concurrent viewers right now are going to be a big source of revenue. I don't try and do that by any means. I was just curious because I haven't used the button yet. So, Randolph, cool. I feel it working. You feel like it's working well since the first week of January. Awesome. So we're a decent chunk of the way in. I like it as it also lets me incorporate strength training to prevent the kind of injuries you had last year. That's awesome. Yeah, the more you can add your flavor to the app, I didn't know you could do that. That's actually really cool. The more you can add your own flavor, I think the better off it is. So does it change how much volume you get based on your lifting? So like if you say I want to lift 2 times a week versus 3 times a week, does it change how your runs look? Does it like reduce mileage or does it reduce intensity? I'd be super curious. But honestly, if you're 3 months into it, basically, that's super exciting. Working towards the September goal. That's awesome. Super exciting. Have you done any halves or anything? If you've said it before, I do apologize. But what's your kind of background with running? I'm always curious what different backgrounds look like as they're projecting out towards the next race and what they're using and what difficulties or struggles you might be running into. You saw the whole time. I think YouTube Premium gives creators the ad money too, if I read right. Correct. Cool. Yeah. Thanks, guys. The shekels that we're making, just the best. I appreciate it. I do genuinely, though. What have you guys got going on, even outside of running for the rest of the day? Anything fun you're looking forward to? General activity? Garrett, I imagine you have some puppy stuff. Yeah, Carl, how are you feeling going into the marathon? How's the body feeling? What kind of nerves or anxiety do you have? Do you have everything laid out? Do you have any big worries that you're thinking about going into the marathon that maybe a little bit of information can help with? Unloading the hay wagon, Adam. That sounds like a heck of a time. That's some good lifting right there, actually. Carl, you're feeling good? That's great. I'm happy to hear it. That's really exciting. Knowing that you've got time to prep everything you need in advance for the race is going to be huge. I like having everything laid out prior, so making sure you've got your nutrition, you've got your shoes, you've got your kit set out the way you want, everything's clean. You've got your top layers, so if it's cold in the morning, you know what you're going to wear, and then strip it off before you start the marathon. Make sure your watch is set up the way you want it to be. Make sure you know the course map and kind of where the aid stations are and what you're going to have at the different aid stations, whether it's just water or Gatorade, or if you have calories there as well. All those good things, and then just enjoy the ride. The pup woke up to food and watching Uncle Joe talk about running. Let's go. Gonna hang out and watch March Madness with some walks. You think? Man, that sounds like a great day. That sounds fantastic, actually. Enjoy it. Round bales with the tractor. Oh, got it. So these are the big hay bales, Adam, that you have to like, that are like hundreds of pounds that you can't actually like move. Because like the other hay bales are like 100 pounds that have the uh, twine that goes around to keep them in place. Is that right? The hand loading looked like some good work, no doubt. Randolph, I never ran anything more casual in brief periods for a week or two before getting distracted. So a couple of weeks to get to half marathon level. Sweet. Are you doing a half marathon en route to the full marathon? That would be super interesting to know as well. 700 to 800 pounds. Small squares are 40 to 60. Okay. I've I thought they were heavier, but I totally trust you over what little knowledge I have on that. Easy lift, yeah, 700 to 800 pounds, just a little kind of like sandbag clean. Just do a little of that thrown overhead there. That'd be fun. What else? What else have you guys got? Easy lift for Carl. Yeah, maybe if all of us in this chat got together, we could maybe lift it off the ground. How many would that be? It'd be me, Garrett, Carl, Adam, Randolph. I don't know. That feels pretty legit to me. You do roll them though at the. You can see at the end of the live stream sometimes. Cool. I will actually have to pop over after. Randolph, that's stinking awesome. 57 and decided better late than never. That is abso-freaking-lutely right. I love it. That's the kind of energy I want when I'm 57. I want to say, like, I don't know, I didn't do this thing. I want to go stink and do it, and then you're doing it right now. That's so cool. All the good vibes and encouragement for that. Let's go. We can do that for sure as long as there's enough grip. I think that's super fair. Ah, okay. So this is interesting. I'm learning all of this streaming stuff as I go. Apparently my bit rate is too low. So I need to use a stream bit rate of 6,800 kilobytes per second, I assume is what KBSP is. Fun. On your guys' end, is there anything weird happening at all? If so, I can try and change things on the fly. If not, I'm not stressing. Bogo the puppy can supervise the lift. I feel like Bongo would have a great time at Adam's farm. So Garrett, Adam also has a farm with all sorts of fun stuff. Bongo would be able to go running and frolicking all over the place. I think you would love it. It's been a little choppy a couple of times. Okay, thank you for letting me know. You use like 3,000 because my internet can't keep up with much more than that. Okay, it was a hair choppy for a sec, but hasn't been bad since the beginning of the video. Cool. These are things that I'll have to play with and adapt and get better over time with, which is great. I'm excited about that. Much clearer than the last time you saw the live. Excellent. I'm happy to hear it. Small progress over long periods of time usually makes you better at things. So I'll have to see what that is in the settings and then maybe drop it for next time. I imagine the audio or the video quality is fine Also, I did change some stuff on the audio settings, so we should be dual instead of mono, just the left ear. And I think we changed the volume setting, so hopefully it's a little more clear audio-wise as it's coming out. Should be a little louder than last time where I think it was supposed to be a little too quiet. What percentage of dropped frames does it say at the bottom of OBS? That's a great question. Dropped frames 5,062 and 7.4%. What does audio has been great? Awesome. I'm actually really happy to hear that because good audio matters so much. I feel like this stream has been really good. I am just sad that it didn't, that I kind of clipped out early at the beginning. Maybe I'll have to hide this video live and chop it up and then place it on the actual home screen. I don't know how I would do that, but I'll have to learn. And also, Adam, because you do a lot of aim for under 1 to 2%. Cool, that's good to know. When you stream, Adam, does it save a copy of the actual video, like the uninterrupted video, when you're doing it? I know YouTube keeps the like big video. Does your computer save a local copy? Yeah, I also wonder how it'll look in the recording. I should be able to check it shortly after it uploads, but for a while it blanked out completely, and that's not great for audience retention because I feel like some of that early on stuff was actually relatively valuable. If I hit record, oh, that's really sad because I did not do that. Tough. Maybe I'll just have to chop up what is there. Doesn't separate audio and video files though. That's fine, or would have been if I hit record. Man, so much learning. I love having folks like you guys in the chat who are actually able to help and make the thing better, because now I can make the thing better because I know. I love it. I do appreciate all the help. Chop it up in YouTube Studio. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do that. Do you just hide, Adam, the non-chopped up version? Like if it's gonna be, before you got on, there was like a whole segment where it completely dropped out. Is that something you would hide on your channel? I play background music in the stream. When I record it, the music is on the same file. Oh, that's tough, yeah. Yeah, I fortunately don't have that issue with these, but I have other problems, I guess, like dropping frames. Well, I think that's a lot of the big stuff I wanted to hit on. If anybody has anything else, I'm super down to chat on any running stuff or recording or what you got going on the rest of the day. If there's a natural start point when you come back, it might be worth chopping it out and saving it. Okay. I'll see if there's something good in there. I'll do some scrubbing and see if I can't find a little bit of something. But yeah, I will give it about a minute here. Good ideas? Yeah, totally. I will certainly give it a look and see if I can't chop something up from here and turn into one nice long cohesive video. Have a good day. Thank you, Adam. I hope you do too. I hope the lift tomorrow goes well, and we'll see ya. Carl, I'll see you on Wednesday. Garrett, I'll see you in a month when I drive to Indiana. Well, month and a half. Hit the thumbs up button. Yeah, always appreciate a thumbs up on the video. If you want to support me, I guess I can throw a shout out. Take a look at the Ontos running brand if you're watching this after the fact. Super excited to see you guys next week. Have a good day, all. Yep, totally. Tomorrow's core day. Oh, let's go. Garrett, if you need to do some core, 5 a.m. with Adam. Yeah, dude, right? Month and a half, it's going to be easy money, though. We got it. Just building up some of those longer runs with just a couple of supporting runs on the way. It'll be good. Such a good quarter zip. I love it. I actually do. I really like this. This is I really like the thing, like the arm sleeve up here or the arm zipper. I really like it. Sweet. Should be a link for your brand in the description. Is there not? I thought it was automatically there. I guess I'll have to go look. See, so many things that I need to go learn because I thought it was there. Ciao. See you, Randolph. Have a great day. Good luck with training. Always drop a comment on videos if you got questions for me. I'm truly all ears to help out as much as I can. Cozy, not even glazing. Let's go. I do like the shirts as well. All right. I think with that said, I'm going to hop. I hope you guys do all have a great day. Thank you guys. Like genuinely, I know a lot of you guys do this to support me. Thank you for taking the time and hopping in today. I do hope you guys have a great week. I'll see you sometime soon. No merch link today. Okay. I wonder why that is. No link. Okay. I will make sure it's in there for the portion that goes live and going forward. Thanks. Okay. Looks like chat cooled off. See you guys.